Good morning. I wanted to share this video this morning to speak to the women who suffer from anxiety and panic attacks. Really quick, my name is Christy. I have created some sessions that help people overcome anxiety. They relate to people. I personally suffered from generalized anxiety and panic attack disorder, and I was able to cure myself naturally without any meds. And I'm not saying that I'm anti-meds, I'm just saying that's what I did. And so I created my blueprint, and that's just, giving you a backdrop of who I am. But anyway, what I wanted to do was share this video speaking specifically to women who suffer from anxiety. I mentioned before several times that to journal. It's very important to journal. That way you can identify certain triggers. One thing that I wanted to point out that I notice is that sometimes, guys, close your ears, it's not for you. When I would come up on my menstrual cycle, especially in the beginning when I was going through it, I mean, most women already know that they feel off kilter when that time comes. But when you're going through anxiety, when that time comes, you don't recognize it as a trigger, because it's something that you normally dealt with. So if you're having an attack, you don't really associate it with your cycle. But what I found out is that when I was, on my menstrual cycle, I would have anxiety attacks. And what I realized is that the reason for that is at some point during my experience with anxiety and panic disorder, I had an attack during my menstrual cycle, maybe several times, and didn't realize that it was the emotions that I was having while I was on my cycle as being triggers to my anxiety. So, like I said, it's at some point I registered those emotions as danger. Simply because I was going through an attack at that time. That's what happens when we have anxiety. That's why we relate everything to danger, because at some point we already registered it as danger during the time we were having an attack. So if you're journaling, you may be able to identify this, but just knowing that, like, why am I feeling so anxious? Why? If you're on your cycle, chances are your emotions from your cycle are triggering your attack, because you had an attack at some point when you're on your cycle. That's the best way that I can describe it, because like our brains do, those of us that suffered from anxiety or suffer from anxiety and panic disorder, anything that we smell, see, or hear when we're having an attack, we register or feel, we register it as danger. And so when we come across that again later on in life, our brains identify it as danger. So just keep that in mind. If you're journaling, you may be able to identify that, and it's a relief to be able to say, oh, I feel like this because, oh yeah, I'm on my cycle. That's why it's a little bit more overwhelming right now. But just being able to identify it and having an answer to the way you're feeling, it puts a lot of relief on you. So just keep that in mind, ladies. Remember to journal, okay? I'm with you and I love you, and I'm hopefully so hopeful to see you on the other side of anxiety. Take care.